on the VinceEverettEllison Show, we're going to talk about these woke black and white college professors and the damage they're doing to the psyche of America and to your children. Yeah, we're going to call them out today on the VinceEverettEllison Show. All right, let's get this thing started. You know, man, I'm going to tell you something. The political left isn't done. These jokers regrouping. And these crazy suckers out there in the colleges and universities. Yeah, you might have won an election, but you hadn't done anything to these colleges and universities yet. They're there. And they are the ones that are teaching the elite children a bunch of ignorance and foolishness about race, about gender, about America, about all of it. And you know, and I try to listen to these people sometimes just to see how crazy they are, right? And they never cease to amaze me. So I was listening to some TED Talks. They always amaze me, these TED Talks. Some of them are pretty good. You find some of them jokers just that blank crazy. And I ran up on one. It was this guy by the name of John Biewen, B-I-E-W-E-N. Oh, John is let me see, what does he do? He's a Kenan Institute. He's at the Kenan Institute at Duke. And we had a Peabody nomination for his podcast. He at Duke University. Duke is one of the best universities in the world. This dude, so his claim to fame is he's a woke white dude that believes that he's responsible to end racism. I'm for real. Let me tell you what this idiot said. He said, we are all implicated, talking about white folks. If I am not joined in dismantling a system that advantages me, I am complicit. He said, it's not about white guilt. It's about responsibility. So he's responsible for dismantling the American system because it benefits him.
And if I'm not joining the struggle to dismantle a system that advantages me, I am complicit. This isn't about shame or guilt. White guilt doesn't get anything done. And honestly, I don't feel a lot of guilt. History isn't my fault or yours. What I do feel is a stronger sense of responsibility to do something. All of this has altered the way that I think about and approach my work as a documentary storyteller and as a teacher. But beyond that, besides that, what does it mean? What does it mean for any of us? Does it mean that we support leaders who want to push ahead with a conversation about reparations? In our communities, are we finding people who are working to transform unjust institutions and supporting that work? At my job, am I the white person who shows up grudgingly for the diversity and equity meeting? Or am I trying to figure out how to be a real accomplice to my colleagues of color? Seems to me, wherever we show up, we need to show up with humility and vulnerability and a willingness to put down this power that we did not earn. I believe we also stand to benefit if we could create a society that's not built on the exploitation or oppression of anyone. But in the end, we should do this. We should show up, figure out how to take action, because it's right.
Now, you see how stupid that is. Because I think the system has benefited me pretty dadgum good, too. It's benefited my brothers, my sisters, my daddy. So what the hell is John talking about? This ignorant, I almost cussed. I'm sorry. This ignorant joker look at me and will tell me that I need a government program to compete against his skinny white ass. And I'm going to look at him up and down and say, you say another word to me, you're going to need the government program. And that's going to be the police. Because I'm going to light you up. They honestly believe it. Stood in front of a whole group of folks at the TED Talk and said some of the stupidest crap I ever heard in my life. So I always ask these woke white folks, right? I said, oh, wait, okay, man, since you always feeling some type of way about how bad y'all treated us. Yeah, we treated y'all bad. We oppressed you and made you work for no money and bought you here away in the slave trade, and we just treated you terribly. I say, okay. You want to, so you feel like you need to pay me back some type of way? Yeah, we need to pay that. I tell you what, sell your house. You got a house. Yeah, sell it? Yeah, sell your house, man. Give me half the proceeds, and all while you're working, give me half of that too. Well, hold it. Now, I can't do that. Oh, you always want somebody else. You want to, what we want to do is for the government to pass a program saying, see, oh, man, you just some type of freaking liberal trying to get a law passed in order to keep black people under your heel so that they'll have to come to you for everything that they get. And y'all play this little DEI white guilt thing in order to get black people to fall into your trap. That we let us pass a law called DEI so we can choose from your people the people that we want to elevate. That's all that is. A bunch of liberal white folks and a bunch of stupid, ignorant black Democrats want to choose from the pool of black people the people they want to elevate. You think they want me? A person that believes in meritocracy and drive? Oh, no, they don't want no parts of me. They want to pick some little mousy, soy-back boy and put him into a DEI program and put him at top. And this soy-back white man and those black Democrats all get together and say, look. Now, we don't want the real black men to get up here because they kind of are intimidating, and we don't like those brothers. They're big and they're black and they're mean. And so we want to start, then, the black caucus. How are we going to keep them out, boss? How are we going to keep them out, boss? Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pass a program that says that we know black people can't make it. Yeah. And in that program, we're going to say, we're going to call it DEI or affirmative action. Yeah. And then black people like you are going to pass it and tell the rest of America this is a good program because black people are too stupid and America's too racist for them to make it. Yeah. And then we will choose the black people that we want to elevate into these positions from the pool of black people that we see. That's a good idea, boss. Let's do it. And that's where you have DEI and affirmative action. Now, how do I know that works? Because since they've been doing it, black people haven't moved 1 inch. They've remained at the bottom of every socioeconomic statistic in the industrial world. It's fact. And they want to keep that rolling because it works for them. If you want to see DEI go to every ghetto, you want to see DEI go to every penitentiary. If you want to see DEI, go to every failing school, and you'll find DEI all over the place because the people that run them are DEI and affirmative action hires. Make no mistake about it, dog. I'm telling you the truth. And if you want more of it, keep these jokers coming here. Keep it coming. Like Keith Sweat said, keep it coming, and you're going to get more of it. So this guy, John Bewin, I told you I worked in the penitentiary. I played football. So violence is just part of the house. Both I was brought up in the hinterlands of Tennessee where everybody was just fighting all the time. I was raised around a very, very diverse family where we have everybody from CEOs and lawyers all the way down to jokers doing life in the penitentiary. That's true. I mean, my mother had 7 children. My grandmother had 16, and my great-grandmother had 14. So I got an array of people in my family. And in my family, you had to deal with a whole lot of different types of folks. And some of them you could reason with, and some of you had to get down and just beat the hell out of them. That's all it was to it. I didn't care which one it was. You want to talk logic, we can talk logic. You want to get down with the get down, we can do that too. Either way with me, most of the time I prefer to fight. So when, I'm dealing with these people and I look at them, I just want to just take something and knock the hell out of them with it. But I know I'm in a civilized country and I can't do it. So when I saw that little skinny white man sit up there talking about he's got to give me something, that he's got to give me a government program, and I'm his responsibility, you just don't know the rage that came over me. But again, Jesus Christ stays my hand. And I'll ask him right now to have me on his podcast. So I could just beat the hell out of him on his podcast verbally. And let him know in a very, very, because I know he's getting a Peabody Award. Because, see, that's what they do to these punks. They give them awards. You can best believe I ain't going to never get no Peabody Award, okay? But they give these woke jokers awards, and they also give these woke college professors jobs because they want to spew this foolishness and this lie. And you should see when I go on the college campus. Man, I'm going to tell you something. I went to the University of Iowa, I went to the University of Buffalo, the University of Alabama, University of Chicago, all last year, University of Utah. I went all over the place. Oh, and before I get there, they raising all kind of hell on campus. Oh, they burning me in effigy. They calling me all kind of Uncle Toms and N-words. You name it, oh, I'm all of that. I show up, you can't find them. I put out a standing invitation, come to my speech, let's do battle. And no, none of them punks show up. So I walk in and say, where they at now? It's quiet as church mouse. Nothing there but the people that support me. You know why? They can't break my argument. Because I'm going to look at them and say, this these liberals making a fool out of y'all. You walk into my world with a DEI pressed on your shirt, and you see what I do to you. See what my brothers do to you. See what all the men that have earned what they got through meritocracy do to you. It's a scarlet letter. You're not DEI, you're DOA. You're dead on arrival. You're done. And you know how you know? Nobody wants to be called a DEI hire. No one. No black person. You want to have, because they asked, I think they asked Trump if he thought Kamala Harris was a DEI hire. Oh, Kamala Harris got mad. I did her. And so this little dude, the B1 dude, says he supported DEI. He said, when I come to these DEI meetings, I don't want to come begrudgingly. I want to come see if I can help. Yeah, we've seen your help. The ghettos, the funeral homes, graveyards, broken families. That's your help. And then, though, they got the nerve to turn around and you got some more out there, some black ones just like them. Saw this little black woman. She's a political science professor at Pepperdine College. She had been at Washington, University of Washington. Her name was Megan Ming. Megan Francis Ming. And Megan had a story. She walked out there. She's a light-skinned girl with curly hair. And she talked about, she was having a good day. She's just giving this great lecture on political science. And her brother called her from Temple University, screaming and yelling and cussing. She'd had about 5 or 6 missed calls. Said her brother was mad because he was sitting on the steps. I don't know if it's of the university or what, but maybe the university. And that the police came and accosted him and his friends, searching for the drugs, saying, well, what drugs you have, what drugs you have, what drugs you have. And when he told me he didn't have any drugs, and then they finally looked at his ID and saw he was a student there that the police left him alone. And he was mad and upset. And she didn't know what to do, and she tried to calm him down and told him to study, and he said, your textbooks are not going to save me. Well, you're right about that, dog. Your textbooks ain't going to save you. I didn't see what the dude looked like. I can't say. I can guarantee you one thing, though. He probably looked like a thug. Like all these little jokers walking around here, going to college and universities, they are pretty intelligent, but they try to act like they're hard. They got into the hip-hop culture and think it's cool to look like a thug, and when they treat it like a thug, they want to get mad. I'm telling you how the police see you now. You can take it any way you want to take it. So then she started calling America a racist nation because, of course, when you treat a person that look like a thug, you're a racist. And so she says, how do we stop America from being racist? We have to start teaching white people. And I said, well, there you go again.
According to the most recent statistics, 33% of blacks that have been killed by police were unarmed. But it's not just police that prop up this myth of black danger. This myth gets reinforced and takes on a truth-like quality through everyday interaction. When a black man passes and a woman clutches her purse, or when a group of black friends walk by a car and hear the jarring sound of someone who has just pushed their automatic locks because they are afraid. And I have friends on both sides of this, black men with great jobs who just want to be viewed as a person and not as a threat after a long day of work. And I have really great white and Asian women friends who clutch their purse and walk quickly if they see a black man on a dimly lit street, and then feel ashamed and a need to over-explain their actions to me.
Gotta teach white folks. No, you don't have to teach white people. You have to teach black people two things. Number one, how to start acting civilized again in polite company. And number two, that when you come across somebody that doesn't work well, pull out your gun and light their asses up. The gun's gonna make them either back up off of you or it's gonna give you justice, one or the other. What if it's the police? Hey, bro, you got to do what you got to do. You got to decide real quick whether you rather be tried by 12 or carried by 6. Y'all are usually the idiots in big cities that vote to have your guns taken away and let police have everything they want: shotguns, machine guns, grenades, stun guns, arsenals, and you ain't walking around with nothing. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. The police chasing you. You telling everybody, police killing us, police chasing us, police worse than the Ku Klux Klan. What is your remedy to that? Let's give the police our guns. Hell, man, I'd be voting to take away the police gun if that's the case. So you know the city council can vote to take the police gun away? Y'all too stupid to do that. Y'all gonna give the police every gun they want. Helicopters and armored personnel carriers, everything. And you can't even have a bean shooter. And then go be upset when the police beat the hell out of you. You deserve it. I don't feel sorry for none of you. None of you. You voted in. You vote the Democrats in. Every year they beat the hell out of you. Every year you take it, vote them back in. You're not you are now a participant. You are not a victim. Philadelphia, right now, where all this took place, it's I had Democrat Party leadership for the last, 40, 50 years, been killing black people like, and you're going to keep on voting them in. So I ain't sorry for you. Move out the city or vote in new leadership, one or the other. So she says she got to teach white folks how to treat black folks better. And that's how we change it. So that's another one of those TED talkers from a university. Oh, and at the end, everybody just clapping. She's giving the white folks the power again to save black America. You're our savior. It's you. If you don't change, we don't have a chance. We have no control over our lives. We like a 2-year-old with a crappy diaper. We ain't got no control. Mama, come change us. Please come change me. We can't do nothing for ourselves. And then there's one that really got on my nerves. Man, I've seen this brother around. I ain't never paid him much attention. Because he's on Fox Sports, and I know if you on network TV, you got to be a liberal. You got to be woke. You got to have allowed yourself to be castrated. All of them are. I mean, whether it be Strahan, Stephen A. Smith, Barkley, Shaq, all of them. Jumpers ain't got no things. On social issues, you might have put them on a dress and some nylons. They believe in LGBTQ, abortion up to the 9th month. You name it, them jokers believe it. They make me sick. So they got this dude. His name is Emmanuel Ocho. Emmanuel played linebacker for the University of Texas and for Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL. So Emmanuel, if you play linebacker, middle linebacker, yeah, you got some moxie about you. So I was surprised to hear this brother go to the left like he did. From his name, I believe he's got to be at least second generation African. So they kind of have a different work ethic than a lot of, foundational black Americans do, who always, mostly Democrats, and just want to have crap given to them, right? So usually people that are second generation, and he's done very well, obviously. I mean, he went to the University of Texas, graduated, played in the NFL. Now he's on Fox Sports. So he's done very well. It ain't like he broke. So I'm surprised when I looked at his podcast. He wrote a book, Difficult Conversations I Have with a Black Man. I think that's the name of the podcast. And on the podcast, he sits there and he starts talking. And the first podcast he did was after the George Floyd, Michael Brown, Eric Garner, Freddie Gray, Trayvon Martin, when all these brothers got shot or got killed. And he said that he was trying to explain to white folks why black folks was rioting. And man, he came up with the most convoluted, stupidest stuff I ever heard in my life. He said, well, we're rioting because the riot is the language of the unheard. MLK said the riot is the language of the unheard. And we've been oppressed for so long. Oppressed for so long. Then now we're crying out. And he's talking about the levels of grief, right? First one is anger. So we're going through all these levels of grief. And he made this stupid ass statement. He said, since the white person is your problem, only the white person can be your solution. What the hell are you talking about, boy? That means, like you said, roaches is your problem, that you got the actual roaches to leave. Hell, if the white man is your problem, only the white person can be your solution.
Only the white person can be your solution. And so this is made for you, my white brothers and sisters, to increase your level of understanding so that you can increase your level of compassion and lead ultimately to change. So consider this a safe space to answer so many questions that I've seen from y'all. The first question I've seen a lot of, Emmanuel, why are y'all rioting? I understand protesting, but why riot? And to that I submit this. MLK said that rioting is the language of the unheard. For years, black people have tried peacefully protesting, going back to 1965 and before with the Selma March, and that didn't work. And then in 2016, Colin Kaepernick, he took a knee, and that agenda got moved to a flag, which was never the goal. He just wanted to raise awareness on social injustice. So that didn't work. And so now we've seen riots because black people and hurt people are trying to get the attention of the oppressor. They're trying to raise awareness of the oppression.
That's what we got to deal with, y'all. Got millions of views. Telling white folks that y'all got to change your behavior. We don't have to do nothing. Black people don't. We don't have to do anything. It's all incumbent upon white people to change what they do. Now, what about you, black man? You still gonna gangbang in the street? Yeah. Still gonna sell dope? Yeah. Still gonna walk around looking like a fool? Yeah. Still gonna make bad grades in school, not work? Yeah. So if white folks change what they're doing, how does that help you? If you don't change yourself. But if you change yourself, no matter what they do, they can't hurt you. And let me let you in on a little secret. 99.9% of white folks in America ain't thinking about you. They ain't trying to hurt you. They got to get up in the morning time, get the children to school, go to work a full-time job, maybe pick the children up from school, come home, cook dinner, help the children with the homework, put the children to bed. Go to bed themselves, rinse and repeat. But you think, Emmanuel Ocho, that these white people got enough time throughout their whole day to sit around the table and say, okay, let's go make Emmanuel Ocho's life a living hell. Boy, that's some narcissism for you. You just think of white folks just sitting around the table saying, let's go find Tyrone Johnson down on the streets of Baltimore and let's make Tyrone's life hell. Let's just set him up with something. Let's oppress Taquayshawn Jones. Let's go oppress him. Well, why come we going to oppress him? We just ain't got nothing else to do. Man, I got to go to work tomorrow. I ain't got no time to be messing around Taquayshawn. It ain't crazy. Even our Bible says in Proverbs that the sluggard, to keep from working, will tell a man, "Oh man, I can't go to work because there's a lion outside my door that just might get me." Covey, in his book, 7 Habits, a very successful, influential people, said that we'll put artificial barriers in front of us. Abraham Lincoln said that one of the jobs of our union is to take artificial weights from all shoulders. Oh, the book is 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. People who are not successful will find artificial reasons. And that's what Ocho and all of these people are doing. All of these reasons for failing are artificial. White people are not your problem. White people ain't trying to do nothing to you. The only white people that are really trying to hurt you are white liberals. They're the ones that have the money to sit back in their ivory towers and have the reason to want to keep you where you are, because as long as you stay where you are, you'll vote for them and keep them in power. If you want to look at an enemy, it ain't going to be your white conservative. He's too busy out there grinding every day, trying to make ends meet, take care of the children, their houses, and their mortgages. No, it's that white conservative joker that is a trust fund baby that's got millions of dollars. George Soros is of the world, the Disneys of the world, the Priskers of the world. Yeah, those are the ones you got to look out for, bro. The porn factory in Los Angeles, in Manhattan. The ones that want to keep your children locked in failing schools because that's where they get their money. The ones that want to keep the illegals coming over because that's where they get their money from the fentanyl and the porn. Yeah, those are your enemies. The ones that want to disarm you so you can sell the drugs in your community, you can't do anything about it. Those are your enemies. The white liberal is always your enemy. So when I look at, Ocho, and I look at all these ignorant people that don't know whether they're coming or going, black and white. They talk about gentrification when white folks come into black areas and start buying their property. And then when white folks leave, they call it white flight. Come and you're going, come and you're going. I remember watching this movie, The Green Book. They talk about The Green Book. Green Book is just the worst thing in the world when the South was segregated. Up north, a smart entrepreneur said, hey, so black folks don't go into white establishments that won't feed them or house them. Let me create a book so that when black people are traveling down south, they'll know what black businesses to go to. And they called it The Green Book. And so before black people would go down south, they would get The Green Book, and The Green Book would tell them where the black establishments were. It was a map. You can stop here, 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 and you don't have to worry about any trouble. Oh, they thought The Green Book was the worst thing in the world. Black people did. And now guess what they got, y'all? In every big city in America. They got the black pages. You know what the black pages are for? So black folks can look in the black pages and find out what black businesses are and do business with black businesses. Yeah, that's black pages. So you got the Green Book bad, but black pages good. Now what kind of sense does that make? You know why they're crazy? double-minded, schizophrenic. You got segregation. Versus now that they want to separate. Oh, I'm sorry, you got integration, and now they want to separate. They want to resegregate now. Yeah, they want to get their young black people on campuses. They want their own dormitories. They want their own classes. They want their own professors. They want to resegregate. So first you talk about integration, now you're talking about segregation again. You come, you're going, you come, you're going. And you got HBCUs, and then you got James Meredith. Oh, they raised all kind of hell to get James Meredith down in Ole Miss, fighting and killing, and I think 2 federal officers got killed, burning up stuff to get James Meredith into Ole Miss. And now black people fighting for HBCUs. Want federal money for HBCUs. Then they give them the money, and mostly get stolen. It's a shame. It's a scandalous shame. But it's all true. We have a political left who, even though they've been beaten politically, have decided that they're going to go on the college campuses where they have a captive audience, and where the students have to agree with them or fail. They have to be indoctrinated or they don't graduate. This is where the left's power is today. As I told you before, Thomas Wolfe said, your culture is the arts elevated to a set of beliefs. So the arts, which is the colleges and universities, they're part of the arts, and I'm part of the arts. The arts create the culture. The culture then creates the politics. And the left is still into the arts big time. Colleges, universities, Hollywood, Disney, Nickelodeon. Oh, they're not done. They're going strong. You think they're going to stop putting the gay content on television and the LGBTQ content and the anti-Christian content? No. Full speed ahead. You think they're going to start teaching it on colleges and universities? No. Full speed ahead. I think Donald Trump can put a dent into it by holding some back to federal money if they decide to teach DEI and affirmative action. I think the courts kind of hurt it a bit when they said that they can no longer have affirmative action programs on college campuses when they recruit students. But as far as what they teach, I feel sorry for your children if they go into one of those schools. I really, really am. Because they have college, they have professors like these people telling them that if you're white, you're an oppressor. If you're black, you're oppressed. That you as a white person, you're obligated to vote for some type of government official. Now you ain't got to do nothing yourself as an individual now, okay? But your obligation to vote for some type of leftist official that's going to then force other white people to give money to some type of thing for reparations or for DEI. Stupidest thing I've heard in my life. But that's who these people are. You got to be on the lookout for them. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, but these people have no good intentions. They've seen what they've done to black people. They've seen what they've done to America, and they like it. They are evil, they are satanic, they are low down, and they are dirty. And they are part of the Democratic Party, the evilest institution in the history of the world. The party of slavery from 1800 to 1860, the party of the Confederacy from 1800 to 1865, the party of Jim Crow from 1865 to 1965, now the party of transgenderism, the party of abortion up till the 9th month, the party of keeping your children in failing schools and open borders and taking your guns away. Yeah, that party. And I ain't gonna never let you forget it. You know why? Because I'm here to wake you up. Hope I did you some good today. So join me again tomorrow for another edition of the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, friends, Vince Everett Ellison is here. I want you to go to my website, and on my website, you're going to see a lot of great stuff, man. You're going to see that we got t-shirts, we got caps, you got my books, my documentaries, you got all kinds of stuff on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Go there. We're dropping new t-shirts, We're dropping new merchandise. My new book, The End of Tolerance, is there. The End of Tolerance. Make sure you get it. Make it #1. If you got my first 3, get The End of Tolerance. It's just as good. And it's telling us we have to end our tolerance with these leftists, these Democrats. We can no longer allow them to sexually groom our children. We can no longer allow them to castrate little boys and call them little girls, run God out of the public square, take away our guns, take away our sovereignty. No longer allow it. So go on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. That is VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Hit merchandise. You'll see the t-shirts. You'll see the caps. You'll see the books. You'll see the documentaries. You'll see it all. And let's keep this ball rolling. God bless you.